What's cracking YouTube, man? It's your boy Jabbar J, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, I'm gonna do a brief introduction of myself. I'm a regular LT who just so happens to, vlog his military journey, right? So today I'm gonna be talking about my month-long vacation to JRTC, located in Fort Polk, Louisiana. For those who don't know what JRTC is, it stands for Joint Readiness Training Center, and it's supposed to simulate a deployment before your unit actually deploys to a real-life global situation. If you've heard any rumors or stories about JRTC, I'm here to confirm that they are all 100% true. All right, I have myself just some brief notes just to keep me on track, because I done filmed this thing like 5-6 times, and I'm trying to keep myself aligned. So I'm gonna just give y'all my experience. Your experience may vary if you've gone. If you're new and this is your first rotation like it was mine, your rotation may or may not be the same, so just keep that in mind. So number one, you have to be prepared to work, okay? The JRTC experience is about a month long. However, you have the period where you're prepping for the box, the actual box, and now you're preparing to leave the box, right? Those two preparation times, you are doing nothing but working. You're getting all of your trucks off of the line haul, commercial civilian trucks, off the railhead. You're staging them in all these different motor pools, right? So you don't really have time to just, once you get there, relax. No, as soon as I got off the bus, my men were working. I was working, right? They tell you can PT. I went to the ISB, APOD Alexandria. Some people went to Tigerland. Tigerland has like a Pizza Hut, a PX, a gym. The ISB doesn't have anything, right? So if you actually have time to work out in PT, you're not even working, dog. You're not working at all. So yeah, where I went straight to the APOD, ISB, whatever you want to call it, man. And I went there because that's where we go, the flight line's there, so that's where we get onto the birds and we jump, right? And so if you're airborne, you're probably gonna go to the ISB. At the ISB, it's just giant sleep tents with like 80 cots, nothing but porta johns, no restaurants, no nothing. There's nothing. You're gonna be eating MREs or UGRAs in the chow tent. So yeah. If you're at the Tigerland, you get a Pizza Hut, nice little shop at. Yeah. But either way it goes, like we would bus back and forth, because when you actually go into the box, you leave from. No, I was wrong. We left from the APOD ISB. But nonetheless, just be prepared to work. I was in both locations, but I slept at the ISB. Right? You're not going to be comfortable. There's nothing but cots, okay? Number two, right? Pack the right gear, okay? You need a bunch, and I mean a bunch of baby wipes, okay? You have, in a brigade, there's like 5,000 paratroopers, soldiers. So do not rely on toilet paper already being in the porta-johns, okay? Have your own stuff. Bring multiple sets of uniforms and multiple sets of boots. Wet weather gear is a must. A poncho, a whoopee, the typical stuff that you need for a field. But it will rain. It will rain. It will be hot. And the showers are limited. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. They're always packed. So yeah, don't be shy, don't be modest. Go in there, take care of your business, get on out. Okay? If you're at the ISB, it's like a truck shower, right? If you've ever been to like advanced camp or basic training, everybody been in basic training. These showers are worse than basic training, right? It's like a prison shower. Like somebody is showering right next to you and there's no dividers. So do not be shy. Get in, take care of your business, go out. If you wear glasses, take glasses off so you don't see nobody else. That's what I did. So yeah, pack the right gear. My next talking point is learn and be understanding. Now you have to understand that you are being evaluated this entire time, right? You're being evaluated. You get assigned 3 OCTs. They stand for Observer, Control, Trainer, right? It's like a senior NCO and a captain or a major, depending on your rank, right? At the company level, the commander has an OC who they judge the entire headquarters section. I had a distribution platoon OC, and then the maintenance platoon. You know, whatever unit you're in, you're going to have a judge, right? Or a referee, if you will. These people may or may not have the experience to actually learn from. So like for me, my distro OC, she wasn't technically a distro person. So she let us know, and that, she was just going to be here to let us do our thing. And if she's seen us doing anything unsafe or whatever, she would correct us, right? And then you run into some people to where they're kind of like all high and mighty, right? And then you may or may not have a very senior person who were like, okay, well, this is like my 6th JRTC rotation. I've deployed to Afghanistan 4 times. You don't even have a deployment patch. How are you going to teach me anything? And then that's where the headbutts start to collide, because you can't teach me anything, but it's my job to teach you something. Now I'm going to grade you by the book. Everything that they do is by the book. And even though you've probably came across a situation in the box where you're like, well, in real life, it goes like this. And they're like, no, this is how we're doing it. At the end of the day, you're wrong. It's their game. We're just playing in it. So even though in real life you may be right, it's not worth the battle. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Let them win. Give them a Roger that and Charlie Mike, because it's not worth it, okay? You're here to learn. It's their world. We're just in it. And at the end of the day, they're there to help train us, because we're the ones who are going out. And when it's a real deployment and real bullets are flying, there's no, they're cheating. They're gonna cheat, right? They don't wear Miles gear. Sometimes they do, but they definitely take the batteries out. It's not always gonna be fair, but at the end of the day, we're only there for a month. And when it's real life, there ain't no OCs. Your adjudication is either you're alive or dead. So keep that in mind, okay? It's not really, the Joeys don't really have to deal with that, but as far as like the leadership, that's where the collides start to happen, okay? Once you're actually in the box and the game has started, right? For me, like the box experience overall was 14 days, but the sustainment assets only got 6 days in the box. So for airborne units, right, our maneuver guys jumped in, but all the logistics we didn't GAC in, like convoy in, until days after, right? So while our maneuver guys are out playing the game, doing, JRTC stuff, we're just chilling in the ISB, waiting. Nothing went as planned, right? If you've ever been to like a combined arms rehearsal or a rock drill or whatever, right? And everybody gathers around and we brief, okay, all the way, sir, we're gonna do this, that, and the third, right? It never happens. It never goes as planned, right? And they tell you, don't ever fall in love with the plan, because the plan will always change. I can 100% say everything that everybody briefed did not go as planned. And that's okay, right? That happens. But that makes you have to be able to call an audible and pull a decision on the fly and to Charlie Mike and make the mission happen. So they told us we were gonna convoy in on the 7th. It turned into the 8th, which turned into the 9th. And then we finally got in. So yeah, once we actually got in, my specific mission for my platoon, my troop, my company, right, we were going to pull BSA security and provide convoy security for pretty much any convoy that left the wire. Why? Because we have a very large amount of gun trucks, which is not common for a typical force support company. So unfortunately, my guys didn't really get as much training as they should have, right? They've actually gotten better training at Fort Bragg. And that gets into another talking point. JRTC is not meant for sustainers. It's meant for the maneuver elements. And I know this because you have a whole bunch of volunteer actors and role players that go into these little towns, and whenever a maneuver element rolls through the town, that's when they get to go in and they get to work and they get to interact and do KLEs, and they actually get attacked, right? I got attacked once while sitting in the BSA because we're so far in the rear, right? In the rear of the gear. Nobody's really ever going to come over there. They came to us once and we lit them up. Like, we lit them up. Now understand, right? A lot of these interactions, especially at home base, you're always going to win. But at JRTC, again, It's their world. We just playing in it. It's designed for us to lose because we can't win everything, right? If you go to the gym and you pick up the 25 dumbbells, of course you're gonna continue to rep them out, and you're always gonna succeed. Why don't you go ahead and pick up that 100-pound dumbbell? You ain't curling that, right? And that's what it's designed for. You're supposed to get better. So even like the only reason how like we won the our tick when they came to the BSA, it was because they went black on ammo, so they couldn't fire at us no more. The BSA is very large, and there's so many different units there. My entire platoon died, but they didn't make it to the BSA talk. So that means, you know, all the higher ups are safe. It was at my expense, but it's cool. We did our mission, so whatever. My guys are trained in that. Let me get some water. So yeah, that little sidebar. I understand if you are a logistician, you may not get the most out of your JRTC experience, and that is okay. It is what it is. Talk about it in the AAR, and Charlie might, right? It's just 30 days. All right, once the box experience is over, right, we transition to a live fire portion of the exercise. Now, you're still technically, not even technically, you're geographically still located in the box. However, it's strictly for the maneuver guys. So literally, as a sustainer, my logisticians, we literally sat there and did nothing and waited in the hot sun. And everything is pretty much based upon like your OCs, right? My OCs, they required us to continue to wear our miles gear and our equipment, but at the same time, it's like, well, what are we doing? What is the training value added to this? At this point, it's just a giant suck fest. I'm not getting better at my job. My guys aren't getting better at their job. There's other OCs walking around with nothing, but you're telling us to keep all this gear on. It didn't make sense, but at the end of the day, it's their world. We're just living in it. So just follow the rules. You'll be out of there, you know, really quicker than you know it. Embrace the suck. Do not argue. You will not win, and the OCs will snitch on you. And yeah. Overall, right? Overall, I'll say my best benefit of this entire rotation was that I didn't spend any money because I didn't have to buy anything. I didn't have to buy food because they provided for you. Room and board, ain't none. We sleep on cots, on the ground, under the stars. So, I mean, it is how people say JRTC sucks. I mean, it kind of does, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that bad, right? Especially if you've been in the Army long enough, it is what it is. And especially if this isn't your first rotation or your first CTC rotation where you've been to NTC or JRTC, or if you were in the reserves or guard and y'all do your own little versions of a CTC rotation, you already know what's up. It's just another day at work, you know? So if you are going to JRTC, you will be fine. Think of it as another field exercise. You will be okay. So yeah, moving on to my last talking point, right? When the box is over, the game is over, do not rush to get home, right? There were so many different vehicle accidents and injuries like that can honestly be avoided if you just slow down, right? When you get in the trucks, combat lock the doors, actually wear your seat belt, put your Kevlar on, don't John Wayne it, buckle it up, and just drive back to Tigerland safely. Because the moment you mess up a truck, you're not leaving until you repair it, right? Your maintenance platoon or your maintenance guys, they're not gonna be able to leave Fort Polk until they fix the pre-positioned stock, the rental vehicles, right? And most of the time, these rental vehicles, they're already messed up, right? They're already messed up. I don't know if they find like different ways in G Army to hide faults, but as soon as you turn it in, oh bam, the faults, they pop back up. So now we gotta fix them. So do your best. Do not damage the equipment, all right? Keep accountability of your miles gear. You lose something, they charge you on the spot. They don't. I sat there and I watched a statement of charges get written for one of my guys, and they gave it to me to give to them. Like it wasn't pretty, especially like if you're not doing good accountability of the stuff. And there's a million things that are going on at JRTC, so it can slip your mind. It really can. But as soon as you get that miles gear, take time out of your day to actually sign the equipment down. Sign everything down. Treat the equipment like it's gold, because the miles gear is more expensive than Gucci, Louis, or Prada. I promise you. So yeah, don't rush to get home. We're all gonna get home safely, right? They told us we were gonna leave on the 28th, and I ended up leaving on the 24th. Again, the plans changed. I came home earlier. So yeah, if you're going to JRTC soon, keep your head up. You'll be all right. And yeah, I appreciate you tuning in, watching my video. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, just post it in the comments. I'm down to earth. You know, I respond to everybody. If you decide to hate, I'll block you. Just don't be disrespectful. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one.